Hello, hi, what's up? It's me, Karen, your favorite booktuber. And if you're wondering about this fit, I'm filming a lot of videos today. You know, today's the day, January 1st, we're filming everything. Today I want to talk about journals. Yay. I did a video like this earlier in 2024, but this is my techo kaigi. I'm not sure if I said that word right, but I want to talk about the journals, whatever, that I used in 2024 and what I'm bringing forward into 2025. I'm going to try to be a little bit concise with these videos because from what I've gathered, they do seem to have a bit of a repetitive quality, and I don't want to spend a lot of time repeating the same thing. In 2024, I do morning pages, and I got through one journal of that, and I tossed it. I don't need it. I don't look back at them. But it is something, doing morning pages, I realized this is when you wake up, you do like 2 to 3 pages of stream of consciousness. It's technically 3, but I only do 2. And sometimes I write really big if I'm not in the mood. And I normally do it while I'm in bed. Like I've just woken up, get a journal out, and I do it. The days that I don't do it are days that I tend to feel a little bit more anxious and stressed. So that's why I've kept at it. And there were also, like, I do tend to like journals and paper ephemera. So I did sometimes pick up a few journals that I would work on and then put down. But I think these were kind of my mainstays, if you would. Sometimes I would have like a smaller carry. But so the first thing that I did is in 2024, I got into Hobonichi, and I started with a cousin, and I really enjoyed this. As I mentioned, it is tissue paper thin paper, and it's just a delight to write on. And when you start using fountain pens on it, it just, I don't know, the paper sings. Apparently in 2025, all the journals from Hobonichi will have different paper, and I'm a little nervous, but whatever. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of how I use this journal. Here, you get like January to June, and then you get the next day. On this, I tracked my YouTube subs in the beginning of the first day of the month, and then here you can see I also started doing my Substack newsletter subscribers, and on the days that I posted or shared something, I wrote them down. So when I posted a YouTube video, when I posted a newsletter or short or a TikTok, I would just write that. I don't know, I found that fun to track because you can see that in the Q1 and Q3, I was the most prolific with my newsletter. Q4, I did not post any. I'm hoping in 2024, minimum 24. In 2024, I don't know, did I mess up the year? I'm so sorry. In 2024, I shared 12 newsletters, and I'm hoping in 2025 to do minimum 24. If we do any more with that, that would be great. Then you get a monthly view. In the monthlies, I tend not to use these very much. I mostly keep track of them for when I travel. And that's when I'll like write stuff. So you can see here, I went to Egypt. So we have the days I was in Cairo, the day I was in Aswan, Luxor for 2 days, Alexandria for 1 day. On the 31st of May, I was in Zurich. So I wrote that down. And then I'll also write down like if I got a haircut. That's kind of the stuff I write. So I don't really entirely use those very much. In December, I decided to kind of add these post-its to keep track of when I wanted to post a video, and then I put them on post-its because I'm fickle, as I mentioned, and I love to like switch things around, and I thought that was helpful, and I'm trying to be a little bit more focused in my YouTube, possibly. For the January one, the January 2025, I wrote when the new Anna Dorn book comes out on January 14th, and there's a new Fourth Wing book that's coming out on January 21st. And then I just have some upcoming travel dates as well. Okay, and then we get into the weekly views. So in the beginning, I didn't know how to use this very well, and it was kind of just like this. It just showed some of my, how I spent some of my time. And then I was like, I started watching or seeing a lot of YouTube videos, but also on Instagram following people who make a lot of journal planning content. And I found this one girl who I believe she's Japanese, and she like filled her whole entire page with all this writing. I don't know what she's talking about, but I was really just like inspired by that. So I kind of did something really similar. And so what we discover is that in 2024, I kind of use this more for memory keeping and very little planning. So I would kind of just be like, okay, so like on this day, on Sunday the 16th, June 16th, I was my friend's engagement party. So you see like the party there, the after party, like whatever. And then I'll just like fill in the miscellaneous space with sometimes like thoughts on the books I was reading, or like reminders, or if I'm reading like 5 different books, I'll write the names of those, and I'm like, okay, can I finish this one or that one? So it just kind of becomes a space where Sometimes I would do that like report thing, reading, eating, whatever. I would fill that in here, or I would mention like, okay, like I'm going on a trip to Paris. Like, what are the places I want to hit? What am I going to be packing? And then sometimes I would just like add in some ephemera. This is from the Picasso museum that I went to. This is a Paris train ticket. That's how that kind of filled out. And then I would add in some, because I can't write that much. Like I could, I guess, if I really tried, but I would add some stickers. I got into Dodolulu Designs. She has these really beautiful, quite charming stickers. So I started using those. And yeah, that's how I would just like use this. And then you'll see in the daily pages, there were some days where I wrote a lot, like on these ones, and then others where I didn't really write that much. Sometimes I would add stickers, sometimes I wouldn't. I'm trying to find yeah, like, I don't know, that kind of seems like I have a lot to say. There definitely were some days where I didn't say that much. Let me find an example. Oh, this was like another travel day. I included, where was this? This was in Abu Dhabi, so this is from the museum. That's my like flight ticket thing. And this day, like my friend's 30th birthday, I made these cards in Canva as part of menu, so I put that in there. I mean, like, I pretty much wrote every single day. There were some days, I kind of do this at the end of the night where I'll write a journal entry, and then occasionally if I wasn't in the mood that night, I'll do it the following morning. But that's kind of how I used this space, as more so an opportunity to journal. Yeah, you can see November 18th, I barely said anything. I said, not the best of days, had a headache, watched season 1 of Peaky Blinders, read a little, wrote a few words, that's it, went to Whole Foods. That was November 18th. Yeah, so that's how I used this. And then at the very end, Hobonichi gives you like these miscellaneous pages. And on one part is like the My 100, which is where you can track 100 things. So what I decided to track, my goal was to go to 50 new restaurants and 50 either galleries or museums. I ended up going to 70 new restaurants. Now that sounds crazy, but when you're traveling, it's kind of easy to rack up the new restaurants. And then here I only went to about 32 galleries and exhibitions. So that's how I kept track of this. So that's this. Then I got this journal, Miscellaneous. I don't know. I just wanted it. And this, I don't want to show you some of it because some of it's probably really embarrassing. Like there's one point in February where I was really going through it. And you look at the pages, like this became more journaling. And it's like giving Tom Riddle's diary at this point. Like, are you okay? I was not okay. This February was really bleak. And sometimes February is a dark month for me. And this would just be like journals or to-do lists, or like when I'm really stressed and I need to like write a lot of everything that's like what I need to accomplish, this will come about. And then this was my reading journal. I used this Midori cat journal that I just like picked up last minute. The way that this is organized is that it gives you it gives you like a monthly overview, which I didn't use much, but I decided how I'm going to use it in 2025. So spoiler, I'm using this in 2025. So it gives you like the week and then this blank page. And I use this as my reading journal because it had like some structure, as in like, you know, this is organized as a certain capacity, and because of that I can break the rules and make it work for me. Like if I had just one notebook that was just pages upon pages or whatever, like I wouldn't keep up with a reading journal, I don't think. But this is like a great space. So this is this week, like I started Guard Your Daughters, then started Bad Lawyer, and then like I wrote some of my thoughts on Bad Lawyers, finished Guard Your Daughters, and then here I wrote more of the Guard Your Daughters thoughts. Percival Everett, I had sometimes when I like read an interview with an author, I'll write notes in here as well. Or if you guys on YouTube, if you give me a suggestion, like I add this in here as well. This is my first time keeping up with a reading journal, and I would have to say I think it was really successful. It helped quite a bit, like I don't know. And then I would use like different color inks for the different books. Like if I was like, because in a week I probably read minimum 2 or 3 books, so it's a good space for me to write about them. And some weeks are obviously there's less to write about, but I thought this was super helpful and something that just gave me a new way to engage with my reading, because there definitely are, like, this was a lot of writing. There definitely are some thoughts and observations that I have on my books that I don't want to share on YouTube or on my newsletter. And I think Alyssa also said something really similar, and she posted a video about her like 2025 goals, resolutions sort of, and she mentioned her own reading journal. And I think it's just really useful and a different way to memorialize your reading. And there's a way in which some of the things I write are just like phrases. They're not even always complete sentences, and sometimes they're direct quotes, and it just gives me another way to engage with what I'm reading. So that was 2024, and now we're going to talk about 2025 and what I'm bringing forth into the future. So considering that it was my first year with Hobonichi, I was for the most part really pleased with it. When I got it, felt a lot of, dare I say, anxiety, because I wasn't sure if I should get a cover, and I discovered a lot of people also get a cover on a cover, and I was like, I don't think that's for me. The cover on the cover definitely isn't for me, because I don't like that plasticky feel. I'm not into plastic. So those are my thoughts there. But I did realize this book, especially because I was taking this out of the house, like I would travel with this, and this book has been around the world. But the binding on the back, like, this is not the best. It does sort of fall apart a little bit, so I put some washi tape here, and I decided that for 2025, yes, I would continue with Hobonichi, but I would get a cover. The cover I decided on was the Yumi Kitagashi cover. It's almost, I don't know, a little too cutesy, but somehow quite charming, and I've been really excited to open this up. That's what I did this morning. I put my journal into here. You also have some like cuteness inside. So I'm going to continue with the Hobonichi, and this will work in the same capacity as I mentioned there. Maybe there'll be some small things that I'll switch up, but I will use this for memory keeping and a daily journaling. And then I got another cousin because I realized I was doing a lot of memory keeping and journaling, but less planning, and I definitely need to do some planning. And though I try to occasionally do digital planning, I find the interface of Google or Apple very unpleasant. And like sometimes when you try to like put in like 45 minutes of time, and say you shift the second time, it like jumps it around, and it's really hard to duplicate them. Not enjoyable. So I got another cousin. I got this, the Liberty Fabrics one, and this will be for planning, and I sort of already started. This is like the first week of Jan. And so this will just be for planning and a space to get super messy. And that's how I'm going to use this, because I did also find that like, I just use a lot of paper. I'm like a paper analog person sometimes, and I do spend a lot of time like planning things, and just, I need to plan more. So that's what I got this for. And then I'm going to keep up with the reading journal. I got a second Midori. I think the size is B6. I was wondering if I should get a different reading journal, explore a larger size, but I decided for one more year, I'll try this out, and then I'll see if my needs change. But I wanted to use the monthly pages more, because it kind of upset me that I wasn't using them. And so I decided, like, on one hand, you're going to watch this and you're going to be like, how I'm planning on using it in some regards is not the best, but I think it will work for me because I'm okay with mess. Sometimes I read books, I don't know if you know that, and I think I want to engage with them a little bit deeper, and how I want to do that is by reading more, like, especially because I do think in 2025 I'm going to be reading a little bit more classic literature, to maybe find an article in JSTOR, not a review. I don't entirely love reading reviews, but something that's like really meaty, and reading that and then like writing the name of it and some notes and jotting that on here. Ideally, you do one a week, and that would be, I think, because I'm looking for ways to enrich my reading further, and that's one way that I'm thinking of accomplishing that, and also putting to use these pages because I wasn't using them. And then I again got this journal. I think this brand is called like Noonie. I don't know. I got another one of these. It kind of amazes me. There's 256 pages, and I managed to get through like that in a year. So I got another one of those. And then I decided, because I'm just not journaling enough, I want to do a 5-year journal, and Hobonichi does that. It comes in this like cool box, right, with 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029. And then the way that this works is that for every day of the year, you have this space for 2025 and whatever, you get it. And then you have this like blank space. And for this, they have a smaller size, and I was a little, what is the word? I was going back and forth, flip-flopping, if you would, between if I wanted this size or the smaller size. And ultimately I decided on getting the bigger size because I do think there is a way in which my handwriting can kind of be a little bit big. And I thought that the smaller size would be tough for me, but it will be this. I don't imagine that every single day I will be filling up the whole entire space, but I want to, because I already do the daily journaling and the cousin, I am a little bit concerned about how exactly I'll be using this. But I do think that there's things that I can write about in my day that I didn't write in the cousin that could go here. Or maybe like I can try to get myself to write about my day in a way that is a little bit more maybe like evocative in the language. Like, let's explore, let's be a little bit different. But then I wonder if I'll cringe at some of the things that I write. So I don't know. This is a place that I think it would be fun to look back, like in 2026, be like, okay, what did I do on January 1st, 2025? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's something I'm going to try to use this year. And then the final thing, I actually forgot to bring that down with me. I got a cousin. Pardon, no, you guys already know that. I got a Hobonichi weekly layout. I got the Yumi Kitagashi one. I'll include like a photo here because it's so gosh darn cute. I just needed it. I think I'll use that as like just an everyday carry. I don't know if you guys could tell, I write a lot. So like if I go to a cafe, I'll bring that with me and that will be that. And maybe I'm thinking of possibly using that for hobbies and to just make sure that I'm like dedicating some time to some of those hobbies and things that I'm interested in. And so those are all of the journals and ephemera, I think, unless I've forgotten something, as I did with the weekly, but whatever, that's everything. I would love to know what's your planner, journal, situation system. I just think this is so much fun and I would love to hear from you about it. Thanks.